Hey everyone, thanks for joining me. My name is Megan, and today I've put together a short yoga sculpt sequence focused on the triceps. So for today's class, I'll be using hand weights. You're welcome to use them if you have them handy at home. If not, you can definitely work through this sequence without. I also will throw in an exercise with yoga blocks. So if you have those, let's have them nearby as well. As always, listen to your body, take rest when you need to, modify when you need to, and let's have some fun. We'll start together in a child's pose. Make sure your weights are near the top of your mat just for easy transition as you get settled in. Bring the soles of your feet together, knees out wide. Walk your hands towards the top of your mat and settle your forehead down to the earth. If this doesn't feel great for your hips or your knees, option to start in a melting heart shape. The goal for the first few moments of the practice really is to land in a shape where you can check in with your physical body, start to observe your breath. If setting an intention is part of your practice, this is a good place to do so as well. What brought you to your space today? What do you need from this movement practice? And you're welcome to linger in whatever shape you've started in. And if you'd like to add some movement, let's slowly lift the forehead away from the mat and walk hands over towards the right side of the space. You can take your left hand to rest on top of your right and allow your breath to expand into your left side body. And slowly walk back through center and explore the other side. Walk your hands over towards the left. Right hand can rest on top of your left. And feel your breath fill up, expand your right side body. And next breath, walk back through center. Take another moment or two to just soften across the chest, relax your shoulders. And sigh out anything weighing heavy in your body, your mind, your spirit. Slowly press up into your hands, slide them back. And you can keep your knees slightly wider than hip distance here. Tuck them in a little bit closer if you need to. On your next inhale, spread your fingertips wide, root through your palms. You can hover your toes away from the mat. Shift forward to take a kneeling chaturanga, kneeling tricep push-up. So you'll lower your chest to hover, keep your gaze slightly forward, shoulder blades draw back. As you exhale, child's pose, send your hips back to meet your heels, just like we started class. Inhale, breath again, shift forward, root through your palms, your fingertips, slow hover. Exhale, press back, child's pose. We're here for a few rounds of breath. Use this as an opportunity to set the cadence of breath. You're taking full inhales to the very top. Empty out completely with each exhale to the very bottom. And it's all right if you're moving with opposite breath. Hey, just find the cycle that makes you feel really strong here, strong and grounded. Okay, let's take 2 more rounds of breath. Shift forward to your tricep push-up and back to your child's pose one more time. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, shift forward. Okay, draw your knees back in towards one another. You can keep them hip distance from here. And reach for a weight, one in each hand. On your next inhale, slowly rise up to stack your hips over knees, shoulders over hips, and take your arms overhead. Keep your core active, ribs pull in. At the top, bend your elbows to 90 degrees. Weights will move to the space just in behind your head. And as you inhale, kick your weights back up towards the ceiling. And exhale, you can drop your arms alongside your body, sit back, hips on heels. Okay. Inhale, breath will take you back up, reach your arms overhead. Exhale, bend into your elbows. Inhale, press your weights back up towards the ceiling. And exhale, sit back. Hey, a few more just like that, still working with the slow, steady cadence of breath. Okay, taking momentum out of the movement and using strength, stability. Okay, inhale up. Okay, bend back, exhale. Inhale, kick up. And exhale, sit back. A few more. Inhale, reach. So you squeeze your glutes at the top, keep your core in. Okay, arms in line with your ears at the very top. Let's take 2 more. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bend. Inhale, extend. Exhale, sit back. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, sit back. Okay, slowly shift forward. Leave your weights near the top of your mat. Root through both palms. Downward facing dog. Press into your hands, tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back. You can pedal out your knees a few times here, right and left. Love down dog for taking time to awaken the back line of the body. Okay, so you stretch out along the spine. Okay, I'm usually pretty tight in the back of my legs, so this feels really good to pedal out and invite some length into the back of the legs as well. Pause at center. Inhale, rise up onto your tippy toes. Look forward. Walk or step all the way to the top of your mat. Okay, you can float, hop if that's part of your practice. Feet hip distance. Take an inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Try to keep your core engaged. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Let's do that 1 more time. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fully surrender, forward fold, ha. If the ground feels really far away and the sensation in this pose feels quite intense, option to take your weights as support. So bring one under each hand. That'll create a bit more space between, or a bit more support between you and the earth. Okay. Option if you'd like to move fairly a little bit deeper into this pose, let your head hang heavy. You can grab opposite elbows, interlace your hands behind you. You can let your arms dangle. Okay, take the variation that feels good for you. We're here for a couple rounds of breath. When you are ready, slowly inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold, heel toe your feet in together to touch. Reach for a weight in each hand. Sit back to chair pose. You can keep your arms alongside your body to start here. First chair pose, fire up the strength in your quads and your glutes. Weight is back in your heels. Wiggle your toes just to be sure. And with your arms alongside your body, can you keep your chest lifted, shoulders from ears, and gaze slightly forward? Okay. Keep this core engagement. Slowly hinge your torso forward so it's almost parallel with the mat below. But once again, keep your gaze forward. We'll add a movement with the arms as you draw your weights in towards your rib cage. Squeeze your elbows in and extend back through your arms, squeezing into your triceps. Bend back into your elbows, extend your arms down alongside your body. Again, squeeze your weights to your rib cage. Kick your weights back behind you. Keep your chest lifted. Bend back into your elbows. Lower your arms to the side body. Let's try that 5 more times. Squeeze in. Kick back. Squeeze in. Slow lower. 4 more. Squeeze in. Kick back right into your triceps. Bend. Slow lower. You can do it. Keep your hips low for 3. Kick back. Bend. Slow lower. All right, 2, kick back, bend in, slow lower. One more time. This time as you kick back, pause and hold. Add a little pulse into your back body for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly fold forward, lower your weights to the mat, heel toe your feet out hip distance. Take it, inhale, halfway lift, core is on. Exhale, forward fold. Rise all the way up to stand. Inhale, sweep your arms up and over, big breath of air in. Forward fold, exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back into plank pose. Child's pose. Lower your knees, hips to heels, forehead on the mat. All right, friends, this is a good place to catch your breath, calm your body. Okay, when you are ready, just like we did at the start of practice, let's add our movement between modified push-up and child's pose. Inhale, breath, press into your hands, come all the way forward, slow lower. Exhale, press back, and child's pose. Okay, take this nice and slow as you catch your breath. But we're still calling upon the strength of the triceps, the core. Let's take a couple more here. Remember, nice and slow, catch your breath, stay in your body. One more, inhale, shift forward. Exhale, child's pose. Okay, inhale, come forward. This time, downward facing dog. Press into your palms, tuck your toes. Lift your hips up and back. Okay. Right leg will kick up and back behind you. Meet me here. Bend your right knee and stack your hip. Just for a moment to open up some space in the hip joint. Okay, on your next inhale, come high on your left toes, look forward. Right foot will step towards the top of your mat. You have two options for this next exercise. Option one, lower your left knee top of your foot. If you're using weights, grab them and rise up to a modified lunge. Okay, arms overhead. Option two, tuck your back toes, root through your right foot, and rise up with your weights. Stack your shoulders over your hips. Okay. Now, if your back knee is lifted, you do have a couple options from here. Keep your back leg strong and straight. Charge the back of your left knee towards the ceiling, or step your left toes in to hover your back shin an inch or two off the mat. So your shoulders, hips stack, and your bottom knee will stack, but at a hover position. Okay, we're gonna add those overhead extension movements again from our lunge. So whether your knee is on the mat or you're in a variation of crescent lunge, arms up overhead, bend back into your elbows, arms in line with your ears. Slowly press your weights back up towards the ceiling. Okay, so you bend back and press up. We're here for the next few rounds of breath. Fire up your core, knit your ribs in, keep your shoulders from your ears. Few more rounds of breath. Last 8, 7. Find your breath. Last 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend back, hold. Option to add that little pulse, even with the lower body if you'd like, for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Weights press up, straighten out both legs, and slow hinge forward. Plant your weights on the mat. Find a little bit of buoyancy from your back foot. Step to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Right away, grab your weights, feet together to touch, second round chair pose. Bend your knees, sit your hips back, arms in line with your side body. Okay, I'm out of breath. Stay with me here. Sit back, squeeze your quads, your glutes. Let's add the kick back. Weights draw in. Extend through your arms. Keep your chest lifted, gaze forward. Okay, bend and lower your arms. Okay, squeeze back, kick back, bend, slow lower, just 5. Squeeze. You can do it. Last 4. Squeeze. Weight even further back into your heels. Last 3. Squeeze. 2. Squeeze. Last 1. Kick back. You got it. We add that little pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly straighten your legs. Hinge from your hips. Weights meet the mat. Heel toe your feet out wide. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Full body stretch. Take in that full sip of air. Arms reach up. Gentle back bend. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back into your plank. Pause for a moment. Extra core challenge. Child's pose. All right, you guys, stay with me here. Catch your breath for a few rounds here in child's pose. When you are ready, join me in our tricep push-up. Inhale, shift forward, slow lower. Exhale, press back, child's pose. Inhale, shift forward, slow lower. Exhale, press back, child's pose. Your elbows graze your rib cage as you shift forward to a 90-degree bend. Slow it down, find the cadence of your breath. I know we're working hard here. You can do it. 3 more. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, press back. 2 more. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, press back. 1 more time. Inhale, shift forward. Child's pose, press back. Stay for an inhale. Downward facing dog. Tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back. Okay, right away, left leg will kick up and back behind you. We'll move to the left side right away. You can take that hip opener as you bend your left knee, stack your hip. Shift high to your right toes, look forward, left foot will land at the top of your mat. Your options, lower your right knee, top of your foot. Okay. Great place to stay. Option 2, tuck your back knee, keep your back leg strong and straight, and stack up your upper body. Okay, an option as well to step your back foot in so that your right knee will hover just below your right hip. Shin parallel with the mat below. We call upon this right quad to fire, okay? Core is on wherever you are, kneeling or in crescent lunge. Arms reach up overhead. All right, are you ready? Lift your chest, slowly bend back into your elbows. Slowly extend your arms back up overhead. Bend and extend, okay? So from behind you guys, I'm squeezing my shoulder blades, pressing the weights up towards the ceiling. Slow lower and press. Elbows are here in tight, okay? As tight as you can. Let's go. What do you think? 8, last 7. Find your breath. Last 6, 5. Keep your eyes open, chest lifted. Last 3, 2, and 1. Okay, bend your weights back. Add that little pulse up with the weights. Option to add the lower body for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Straighten out your legs. Reach your arms forward. Really, really slowly lower your weights to the mat. Find the buoyancy. Slight rock forward and back. Step to the top of your mat and fold. Okay, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Grab your weights. This is our last chair pose. You can do it. Weight back in the heels. Sit your hips back. Arms alongside your body. All right, last set of this. Slowly squeeze your elbows back. Weights to your rib cage. Kick back through your knuckles. Squeeze in, slow lower. Weights pull back. Extend back. Squeeze in, slow lower. Just 5 more. Yes, you can for 5. Whew. Last 4. Last 3. Squeeze into your triceps, sit back further into your hips. Last 2. 1, hold back, add the pulse, last pulse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly fold forward. Leave your weights here at the top of your mat. Take your feet out hip distance. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Full body stretch. Let this feel good. Inhale, arms reach up. And exhale, slow fold. Okay, inhale, halfway lift. This time as you exhale, bend your knees a lot and see if you can meet sitting on your mat. Okay, if you have stable weights, you can use them behind you. For a reverse tabletop, we're going to add a tricep dip. Okay, so if there isn't enough room here for your fingers, option to use yoga blocks or any type of prop that resembles your yoga blocks, okay? Set them up behind you. One hand will rest on each weight or block. Okay? Feet meet the mat, toes point forward. Okay, on your inhale, reverse tabletop, press into your hands, squeeze your glutes, lift your hips. Exhale, slow, lower hips, land back onto the mat. Okay. Inhale, breath again, press up. Exhale, slow, lower. Okay, we'll stay here with the breath. Just like we did in our child's pose to tricep push-up movement, can you create a really slow, steady cadence of breath? After our standing work, it might feel good to kind of slow down the movement. Land back in your body. Okay, take 2 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. 1 more. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Okay. Feet flat to the mat. You can open up your knees, wrap your arms around your shins, give yourself a big squeeze in. Okay. You might even grab opposite elbows, round your forehead to your knees. Okay. Let's add the dips, friends. Bring your hands to your prop. Okay. Option to take this with your feet flat to the mat, like you did in reverse table, or option to stack up onto the heels. With your inhale, press away from your feet, your heels, your palms. Then slowly bend your elbows just to hover your sit bones away from the mat. And then press back up through your arms. So we're not moving the hips anymore in this movement. This is all tricep. Okay, slow, lower, and press up. Okay. Take your time to adjust your position so that you feel supported. There shouldn't be pain in the wrists here, so just be mindful. If this is too much on the wrists, skip this movement. Okay? If you are okay here, let's stay for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. You can do it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower. One more time, give yourself a big hug and big squeeze. Round your forehead to your knees. Big stretch across your back body. Okay, and slowly open back up. You can move your blocks out of the way. If you have your weights, you're using your weights, bring them with you. We'll transition on to our backs. Once you land on your back, give yourself another squeeze here. You can sigh out through your mouth. Just allow yourself to transition from the work so far. Land in this present moment. Lower your feet down to the mat, knees point up towards the ceiling. Reach for your weights, one in each hand. Okay, and we'll press up to bridge pose. Elbows can rest on your mat to set up. Make sure your heels are tightened towards your body. Press into your feet, lift your hips. Squeeze your glutes at the very top. Keep your gaze slightly down the midline of your body. Okay, then extend your arms up towards the ceiling. Take your time to position your shoulder blades so you feel supported in your back body. Okay. You can bring your weights together to touch or your palms towards one another. And let's slowly bend the elbows back so that the weights hover just overhead. And then kick your weights back up towards the ceiling. Squeeze your glutes, lift your hips, slowly bend the elbows, and press back up. Okay, added challenge, if you feel stable, separate your arms so your wrists and your elbows stay in one straight line as you press up. Okay, let's stay here for 10, 9. Keep squeezing into your glutes. 8, 7. You can do it. Last 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower your elbows back onto your mat. Slowly lower your hips to the earth. Bound angle pose. Soles of your feet together, knees fall open. You can rest your weights just on the front of your hips for some added pressure. Close down your eyes and catch your breath. All right, friends, one more exercise before we close off this practice. Lower your weights down to the mat. Take your hands to your outer thighs, draw your knees in. It might feel good to open up your arms, cactus, windshield wiper your knees a few times from side to side. And then let's roll onto our belly. We'll meet here together. Option to use your weights for this next exercise again. Grab a weight in each hand. Extend your legs out long behind you. Okay. On your inhale, locust pose. Lift your feet, your chest, and your arms. Okay. So again, we feel that engagement in the triceps, and we'll add right away here a little pulse in with the weights. Palms are down, weight squeeze in for 10, 9, gaze slightly forward, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower your weights. Bring your hands to the top of your mat. Rest your forehead on stacked palms. Bend your knees to soften your low back. Relax your glutes for a few moments. And we'll take one more set, slightly different. Lower your legs back down onto the mat. Reach back. If the weights felt like too much for that exercise, try it out without. Okay. Second set, locust. Inhale, lift your feet, lift your chest, lift your legs and your arms. This time, palms face in towards one another. Keep lifting up, squeeze your triceps, but pulse in towards the midline. Gaze slightly forward, squeeze your glutes for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower your weights. Lower your feet. Stack your palms at the top of your mat, forehead to your palms. Bend your knees. This time you can windshield wiper, sway your knees from side to side, your feet from side to side. Child's pose. Press into your palms. Open up your knees. Send your hips to your heels. We'll move into a stretch from here. Press yourself up to an easy seat. Nice job. Those of you who are still here with me, great work. Okay, so for this stretch, I'm going to use a weight as a prop. If you have a shirt or a strap nearby, you can use this as well to stretch out the triceps. So taking your strap or prop in one hand, reach your arms overhead. Be really careful if you do have the weight overhead, but slowly bend into your top elbow. Drop your strap or weight towards the midline of your body. Take your opposite hand to your opposite elbow. Okay, so we take this really, hopefully nice, deep tricep stretch on one side. You can take this further by taking your top arm, sweeping it around to find the opposite end of your prop. Okay. And for some of you, using the prop might not feel necessary. You can also reach for opposite fingertips. Okay? So set yourself up to stay here, hold and breathe for a few rounds of breath. Close down your eyes and just allow your breath to support you in a softening or release of your tricep. Create some space across your chest. When you are ready, you can release slowly. Be mindful if you have the weight. And set yourself up on the other side. Take your prop in your opposite hand. Slowly reach that up and over. Bend your top elbow to slowly drop your weight or your prop towards the back line, midline of your body. Opposite hand to opposite elbow. And just be mindful, right and left side will always feel a little bit different. So work within the range that's available on this side. Maybe watch your breath return to a more natural, organic cadence as we come out of all of that work, that chaos. Start to slow things down. Take a few more rounds of breath. And when you are ready, begin to release. And work your way to your final resting pose, corpse pose, Shavasana. Come all the way down. You can send your legs and your arms out. Take up space on your mat. Take a few rounds of slow cleansing breath as you release anything that is feeling heavy from the practice or from your day so far. And bring some awareness to what it feels like to be in your body coming out of that work. Are you able to surrender into new energy, new space? And taking the time just to acknowledge what that means for you and your body in this moment. I encourage you to take at least 10 breaths here in your rest. Give yourself this time to heal, regenerate, renew. Thank you so much for choosing to practice and move with me today. It's such a pleasure to guide you. From my heart to yours, namaste.